All right, folks, good evening to you. Welcome. As they say, Murphy's Law says if anything can go wrong, it will. In broadcasting, we call it technical H. But we are here. Let's set the ball rolling. I'm Citizen Jones. Welcome. This evening, I have Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Labor of love. Kolade has been here for days on end, keeping the ship afloat. Good for you. Yes. Good for your health.
That's what I'm paid to do.
Solomon Ajuziogu. Ejimogu for you. Solo, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Solomon is here. But seriously, it's Good Friday. Did you know that? A happy holiday to you. Okay, today on the program, health workers warn against lifting of ban on gatherings in markets, churches and mosques nationwide, just as Nigeria is hit by 14 new cases of the virus. And later on, Governor Zulum meets with President Buhari over Chadian military operation against Boko Haram in Lake Chad area, even as the Army Chief Buratai urges troops to brace up for final defeat of insurgency. You've met the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, you know, people never know what they are capable of until all other options run out. The desperate times call for desperate measures. So we are there now. Health workers across the country, or if you like, caregivers, have warned against lifting of the ban on gatherings in marketplaces, churches, mosques, and so on and so on. In the face of the festering effect of the coronavirus pandemic, 14 new cases of the contagion have been reported across the country. We saw that coming, didn't we?
Yes. And we've told our people what to do. We've told our government what to do. It is not complicated science that even the advanced countries of the world have discovered that the best way to defeat this virus is to stay indoors so that the community transmission of the virus, which is the most dangerous, is checked. And as an analyst said last week, 4 billion people across the world are currently observing the sit-at-home order, because the world has seen that this is a very dangerous contagion that is capable of wiping everyone off if the needful is not done.
Yeah.
And the needful in this case is for us to sit in our homes, observe respiratory hygiene, wash our hands frequently, use sanitizers when we are unable to readily access water to wash our hands, and ensure what is called social distancing or physical distancing, if we are to let people understand what we are saying. So that way, at least we can keep the contagion in check. But what we have is a situation in which some governors are saying, oh, we are going to relax this lockdown. We are going to allow people to go to churches on Sunday to celebrate Easter. We are going to allow Jumat prayers. We are going to lift the ban on Jumat prayers and all that. And I ask, what really is the problem with the black man? Something is inherently wrong with the black man.
Well, because in this case, Jide, maybe with the Nigerian.
You see, the Nigerian is a black man. And I say that because in the midst of this pandemic, in South Africa, some of our black people in South Africa are looting shops. They are breaching the lockdown, the directive to sit in their homes and looting shops. Now, what do we have? some governors are saying, okay, let's have Jumat prayers. Let people go to church and celebrate Easter. Why is it not happening in Saudi Arabia? Are we more religious than them?
No. Otherwise, if the Pope can lock down the Vatican,
Yes, and that's the
so
biggest
who is
worship center in the world.
Who is the Catholic in Nigeria who would go against it?
I really do
The
not know.
Archbishop of Canterbury has shut down St. Paul's Cathedral in Solomon.
Yeah.
And so must you beg a people in the face of what everybody is saying? You know, it's crazy that we are having to discuss this here.
I think that it boils down to first the sort of value system we have. I've always maintained that each time I look at Nigeria and Nigerians, there is no sound ideological philosophy that drives us. What is the value system that holds us together? People say it's football.
This must be in our DNA.
I don't know.
No, I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Now.
Is this us? Let me ask for the umpteenth time. Are we like this?
I thought we weren't like this. I thought we weren't like
until
this.
yesterday.
Until, well, yesterday will mean until after many years of misrule. I don't want to go into the details of, this is not what it is about today, but I think it has to do first with our value system. And then I think it has to do that with the fact that over this 20-year period or 21-year period of this democratic experiment, we have also not had philosopher kings, philosopher rulers who understand what is required to build a state, to build a nation. Then we have rulers at this point who are probably pandering towards a bit of populism and who use the cultural artifacts of religion and tribe, clannishness, as you may seem, to engender their own profits.
Maybe this is why
political capital.
We can go there now. Maybe this is why the Enugu state governor had to celebrate his birthday in the mix of all this crazy thing. And you had the Abia governor going to distribute gari and soup. And we must say it here,
right?
So will he do it again tomorrow for the effect?
Photo op. So it's the populism. Then the other thing is this. Now, this is not something they are used to. They are probably used to distributing some of these palliatives for political gains and all of that. Now you are not going to do it for electioneering issues. You are going to
the campaigns are a long way off.
A long way off. So you have to distribute palliatives. So there's the other problem of the capacity of the state, whether at the federating unit or at the national level, to continue to dish out economic mitigation. The capacity to continue.
Keep talking to the people.
Do the states have the capacity to prolong this? Okay, if we have to shut down for this long, which is necessary, how much do the states have, or what capacity do they have to continue to provide the palliatives that will keep the people at home? Because already people are losing patience. That's the truth. I was somewhere and I had to start educating 2 old women about why this has to be. Because one of them just came into Lagos from Ibadan. And I was like,
as we speak.
Yes, and I was like, oh, she came in from Ibadan. So how did she do that? 1. Then 2, that in Ibadan, in Oyo State, it is not as tough as this in Lagos. Why are they doing this to us in Lagos? And I had to tell them that the governor and the people in Oyo State are making a very big mistake, because even the governor caught the virus. And he has to shut down if he doesn't want it spreading in Oyo State.
Okay, to drive the point home about health workers, care workers, caregivers, if you like, underlining or emphasizing the importance of staying at home. Dr. Henry Ewunonu, I hope I got that right, Solo. Dr. Henry Ewunonu, spokesperson of the Joint Health Sector Reform in this country, has a little something to share with us.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I appreciate journalist handout.
Okay,
I
thank you.
appreciate you for the wonderful job you're doing, from the producer, the presenter, the analyst, in-house, and guest.
And the viewer.
May God bless you all. And we, the listener.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yes, we are umbrella organization of health development space workers, professional associations, CSOs, NGOs working in the health development space. We are appalled by what we have been hearing for the past few days now about some governors relaxing the lockdown orders in some states of the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
Our reason is that we are sure from evidence that the most effective method of preventing an airborne disease is for everybody to avoid breathing the air from contaminated, from infected people. So the lockdown serves as the most effective means of effecting that social distance. So some states, we have heard that some governors say, Juma prayers can continue. That increased mass gathering. We have heard some states emphasizing the need for the importance of Easter services. So Christians can still assemble on Sunday. But we want to remind these governors through you, through TVC, that Saudi Arabia this year suspended Umrah. Umrah, or religious pilgrimage, is one of those pillars of Islam, but it had to be suspended because the world is witnessing what it has not witnessed for a very long while. The Pope in Rome has suspended those services at the Basilica. As fanatical as some people may believe, Iran has suspended mass gatherings or mass religious gatherings. So can we be more Catholic than the Pope? Can we be more Islamic than the seat of Islam in the world? What do these governors want? What do they want to improve? The law for the people? I want to use this opportunity to talk to Nigerians. I think it is better to stay 6 feet apart on the surface of the ground than to stay 6 feet deep inside, below the surface of the earth. The choice, the option is ours. But please, our appeal is, these governors, please, this is not the time. Our people have more patience. We know that, yes, some people live from hand to mouth. They can only eat when they go out and come out. We know that some people work in bus parks, motor parks, and so on. The people refer to Agbero. If they don't go to work, they will not eat. Some people are daily laborers. But we, like the Igbo people will say, this hunger that has hope, it doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
Just a little while, maybe 1 more week, maybe 2 more weeks, we will be fine again. We will move before again.
Yeah.
So please, TBC, help us. Journalist Hangouts, help us. Just like you expose those who were jogging. But you did, I don't know. While we are saying, please stay apart, they were coming together. Such has stopped. I'm sure you can appeal to the sensibilities of this governor.
Okay.
Let them help us.
Yeah, your intervention is, I believe, will go a long way because you are at the war front, so to speak. Okay?
Thank you.
Henry, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here.
I'm saying as the last line, tell the viewer that coronavirus disease is real.
Dear listener, dear viewer, it is not because it has not gotten to you that you may think it's a hoax. Just because you have not seen somebody who suffered from it that you think it's a hoax. This is not political. It is not one sensational news flying. Coronavirus disease is real. It has brought the whole world to a standstill. It has brought even wonderful, great nations to their knees. Please, I beg you, let us stay and remain alive. Just like Gideon was trying to explain yesterday. You see, the pain of coronavirus disease, having this type of pneumonia. What does this virus do? What it means is that the lungs that should contain air, the inflammation makes it now to contain water. So you drown in your own fluid, literally drown in your own fluid, struggling. Can you imagine somebody struggling from drowning in an ocean? That is what happens to somebody internally. We can avoid this just by please staying inside. If possible, lock your window. Thank God the television is working. If it's not working, stay there, pray. It is real. It kills. Yes, we have been told that it's only about 20 people that will fall sick very sick after contacting it. Who knows whether you can be among the 20% or 1% or 2%? Please.
Any query for him,
does
Solomon?
not beat the cripple. You have heard. Please apply this.
A word, they say, will be enough for the wise. Dr. Henry Ewunono, we thank you very kindly for your intervention here. Dr. Ewunono is a spokesperson of the Joint Health Sector Reform in Nigeria. Jide, the next, I've not heard this word in a long while, infodemic, and it is also here. Infodemic is when you have a mass of information over a given subject, which leaves no room for a cure. So we are neck deep in it.
I'm really angry with our people. And ignorance is such a big problem in our country. We are unable to even piece information together to know that this disease is dangerous. To know that if today we have just less than 300 confirmed cases, it could exponentially grow. By February 27, America had only 54 cases. Okay. By April 5, it had jumped from 54 confirmed cases to 100,522 cases. Today, America has been brought to its knees. If you told Trump that it could be this bad, I'm sure he would have argued.
Especially in
the hospitals in America are struggling to cope. And the state of New York has already recorded more confirmed cases than even Italy, a whole country. That's one state in America. That's the extent to which this virus can go. And in our country, where the health system is weak, we all know the health system is weak. Yeah. That is apparent to the blind. If we have the kind of experience that they've had in advanced countries like Spain, Italy, and the rest of them, it will almost wipe us out completely. We will not be able to cope. If those countries that have big hospitals, fantastic hospitals, you can't say the health system in America is not good. Yeah. Some of the best doctors in the world are in America. You go to the Loma Linda University in the US. That was the first place where the heart transplant happened. Yeah. They tested it on a baboon.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So America is one of the greatest countries in the world when it comes to medicine. But America has been brought to its knees by this disease. And we are here playing with it. We are here playing with it, saying, oh, we are hungry. It is when you have life that you will be in position to eat.
That's it.
And it is not when people put so much accent to government must do this, governments must do this. The question is, in many African countries, Rwanda and the rest of them, Malawi, even when they didn't have a single case, they implemented a lockdown. In many of those African countries, let them tell me what government has distributed to the people, because it's impracticable. It's impracticable. This is something for which we must be ready to sacrifice. Because if we are not prepared to sacrifice, then it kills us. That's what the Prime Minister of India is saying. Yeah. They had the lockdown that was meant to expire on April 14, but he has told them that there's no way I will not extend this.
That's it. That's it.
That we only need to endure for 21 days and save ourselves the pain of 21 years. So this is the thing.
Meanwhile, the Indian Prime Minister is leading 1.4 billion people.
Yes, and it's a third world country full of poverty-stricken people.
Oh, yeah.
What Jide has just done is to buttress the points I raised earlier. The inability of the Nigerian, or the majority of Nigerians, to make sacrifices is a byproduct of the value system Nigerians have. How many of us are truly patriotic? How many of us are truly nationalistic? How many of us have the value system, have imbibed a value system that ensures that we are selfless to this point? Now, in addition to what he said, New York, unfortunately, has recorded over 7,000 deaths. New York State alone has recorded over 7,000 deaths. That's massive.
I hear it's the epicenter now.
Now, that's a massive hit.
Has overtaken Spain.
Now,
Italy.
for Nigerians,
one state.
For Nigerians who are refusing to obey simple instructions, whether it's in the office space, whether it's on the streets, whether it's in their locality, I think it is just sheer wickedness, because the people, when you get caught, when you get the heat of the virus, there are people who are giving care. There are people's mothers. There are people's fathers. You're also endangering their lives by not keeping to the rules, because they are in the front line caring for people. A lot of doctors have died in Italy, in Spain, in the US because of this. So you're talking about a weak health system in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the Secretary to the State, to the federal government did talk about it briefly today, and I was a bit disappointed that this is the time they have just realized that we have weak health system, unfortunately.
No,
now,
did you believe that intervention?
Well,
he said he never knew.
It's just the talk. It's just the talk.
Okay,
it's just the talk. So it is sheer wickedness when people don't keep to the rules.
Solomon, before we go on the break, Henry just shared an Igbo proverb. Jide, it says, hunger will get hope, the kill.
Yes.
How do you say it in Igbo?
Let me not
think
say
about
it.
We'll take this break and return. Please don't go away. Okay, then, we'll keep it going. Illiteracy, I'm told, is the #1 promoter of ignorance. Here we are. And Jide, you have supposed educated Nigerians who are fueling this wahala.
Yes.
Why must you keep us indoors? We are hungry, and so on. This, Jide, I beg.
I've had people, educated people, say, oh, why should they just lock everybody in? At that point, I can't question his education. It's his level of idiocy that baffles me. Okay. Because you know that in other countries, this thing is in place. The lockdown is in place.
Paul Kagame is saying, pointedly,
shoot them.
Anybody you see outside,
yes,
shoot it. It takes me to what we heard.
Because we must protect ourselves and not let a few individuals.
One crazy story that emanated from Facebook, they say credited to the Russian big man. They say they released tigers and so on. I knew it was. No, I know saying a lie. Sometimes you feel we need to release the lions we have in the country.
Yes, like those people in Bagada now. Let's chase them right into their homes.
But the trouble is
the good thing is, okay, we talked about it and the police did the right thing.
No, I was surprised yesterday and through to this morning. No joggers, Solomon. And you are jogging, you are taking selfies, you are sweating, and you are educated.
They are the same people saying, oh, people need to go out to find a living, this and that. But those ones are comfortable. Those who live in that area, they are not people who live from hand to mouth.
Yeah.
So they should not pull wool over our eyes. They are comfortable. The sneakers they wear, show that these are people who are comfortable. So it's not a question of people are going out because they need something to eat.
If you know Belleful, you feel go jog.
Oh. I go to roll on my bed now.
So, in trying to take this home, therefore, Solomon, lead the way. Without speak daggers, use none, because it don't reach me here. In my house, we stick by what's on ground. The man says, the thing where everybody they fear, make you follow fear them.
This is wartime, citizen.
Oh,
this is wartime. And people need to realize that we're at war. we're at war with an unseen enemy.
Unseen?
An enemy we also don't understand. An enemy that has the capacity to annihilate the whole of Nigeria if care is not taken, or a huge chunk of the population. Now, it is when it hits you that you know. But you can save yourself by doing what? By just obeying simple instructions, simple rules. I would also call on the government, especially at the local government level,
we have company here. Olawale is joining us from Ikorodu. Good evening, Olawale.
Hello?
Olawale, how are you?
Hello?
Yeah, Olawale, welcome.
Yeah, Citizen Jones, good evening.
Let's share your perspectives.
Yeah, Citizen Jones, good evening.
I greet you.
My encyclopedia, I greet you.
Good evening, sir.
And Solo.
So, Solomon, this is not the sport. Okay, quickly. Yes, I'm a bit concerned at the impunity of Nigerians concerning these things. The only way we can save ourselves are the prescriptions, social distancing, and avoid crowded places. But I'm surprised that people are exhibiting ignorance about all these things. That's number one. Number two, concerning the budget slashing, and marry that one with the comment of the secretary to the government that he never knew that our health system is in shambles. Go and look at what they want to slash. They want to slash health and education budget. Oh, good evening.
Thank you. Well, we talked about infodemic in the course of the evening. That word wouldn't be lost on me, but thank you, Olawale. Let's move on now. You know, there can be no denying that President Idris Deby's telling offensive against Boko Haram has become a wake-up call for Big Brother Nigeria. Governor Babagana Zulum met the President and Commander-in-Chief, Muhammadu Buhari, and of course, that was yesterday at the Villa in Abuja, concerning the Chadian military onslaught against Boko Haram elements. The governor is apprehensive that the dislodged terrorist might elect to settle in his native Borno state. He knows what he's talking about. Meanwhile, Army Chief General Tukur Buratai believes this is the time for Nigeria's fighting forces to finish the job. First, let's hear from Zulum himself after the visit to the villa.
Honestly speaking, we are apprehensive because of the ongoing operations by the Chadians. Right now, most of the Boko Haram are fleeing the shores of the Lake Chad, the areas of the Chad Republic, and they are now coming to the northern Borno state and then to southern Borno state. And there's need for us to now provide some counter-insurgency attacks. This is the right time that the government of Nigeria, under its leadership, will do everything possible to support the MNJTF and others to be proactive enough to contain the situation, to deal with them decisively with a view to ending the crisis, so that they shouldn't occupy some other areas in the northern states as well as in the Sambisa Reserve.
Jide, I watched the social distancing displayed by Mr. President, and Governor Zulum is with his mask. But then he has laid, the thing is bare. You can see, even the Braille can read it. The blind can read it in Braille, as they say.
Yes, everyone knows what we need to do now. Boko Haram's capability has been significantly degraded by the Chadian army. I say that because I know that that area was very important to them because it was their main supply route, coming in through Libya, bringing in weapons through Libya into Niger Republic, and then going all the way to close to N'Djamena. before veering into Nigeria. A lot of the weapons that they use, they are game-changing weapons, were kept in that area. But as we have seen, those weapons have been seized by the Chadian troops, and some of them destroyed, including some artillery batteries and all that. So clearly now, they fled that area because the Chadian troops have kept that area clean. They've cleaned up, they call those areas the Tumbus, the islands of the Lake Chad. There are about 20 villages in that area. They've kept those areas clean. Boko Haram have fled that area and they have come into Borno North, where for so long they've operated mercilessly. If you look at some of the biggest attacks on Nigerian troops in the course of this war have happened in Borno North. Talking about Gudumbali, talking about Zari, talking about Metele, talking about Malam Fatori, where we lost Colonel Abu Ali. They are all located in Borno North. So Borno North is a kind of fortress of Boko Haram, and there are very few villages and towns where people still live in, because the area is considered very unsafe, because those guys are there. So the moment they chased them away from the islands of Lake Chad, they moved into Nigeria. According to reports, they came in about 30 gun trucks and moved into Guzamala local government in Borno North. Went to a village called Shelawa, but we know that they will not stop there because they are constantly moving so that they won't be detected. But the point that one is making is we need to work with our partners. Everyone suffers. Cameroon, Niger, Boko Haram has many active cells in Niger Republic. So the countries, Cameroon, Niger, Chad, must come together. This is an opportunity to just finish off Boko Haram, because the most dangerous and the most effective faction, which is the one that is known as ISWAP, or the Abu Musab al-Banawi faction, is the faction that the Chadians have decimated. That is the faction that has constantly been attacking Nigerian troops. The Shekau faction is too weak to launch any attack on Nigerian troops. What they do is they attack villages, steal people's foods and all that. But the faction that is supported by ISIS, the faction that had tremendous equipment and capability, is the faction that the Chadians have decimated. So we have the opportunity now to focus on their hideouts in Borno South, Borno Central, and Borno North, and just take them out.
It's known that there are bunkers, Solomon, bunkers in a particular village in the Lake Chad environment were bombed, and so they are scattered in directions. Time to finish the job?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear first and foremost, what the Chief of Army Staff has just said. It also shows that he understands the urgency of the task on his hands. And we hope that he will keep the momentum running. But then I have a problem when public officials in this country, their propensity to talkativeness before action. And then in the end, they end up without the action. You know, I'm glad that the Chadians have shown the way. Now, in order for this not to be lost, we have to play our own part from our own end to ensure that these guys don't settle down. But first, I must point out that the choice of the marshlands and the forests of the Chad area, of the Lake Chad area, indicates the level of sophistry and training of these guys in the insurgent groups, you know. That place is a difficult terrain to move into. You have to do a lot of planning, have a lot of planning before you can move into that area. So that's a lot of sophistry. And for the Chadian forces to have done this elementary job for us, as it seems, to dislodge them from that side, from that their own end, and then push them right into the mouth of the Nigerian military, where the battle can be easily won. it's now left for us to see
they
what
can
we can do.
become easy pickings. As
Yeah,
you say.
easy pickings, yeah.
Well, meanwhile, we can tell you the president of Chad, Idris Deby, has been going around to boost the morale of his troops who have been launching lightning attacks on Boko Haram fighters. He promised to sustain the onslaught against the insurgents until victory is achieved. Let's hear from him.
ميرسي مكان ده بس منطقة هنا من ده قدام لحد ما نيجيريا ورسل عسكر هنا يخطها ونضمنوها شوية نص الشهر كده يقودوا معه بعدين في الماء يخلوه يجي بوكو هرم يشيل السلاح يطردهم وبعد ذاك كمان نبطل يجونا نبطل في تشاد ينزلوا من هنا نبطل بيجينا في تشاد ده بيتعبونا هنا عشان ده لازم مكان تفهمه ما دايرين نخلوها مثل ده نقول في مثل ده في ايامات الجايه ده نتصل مع رئيس النيجر في هناك مضايق لم الشيء لكن دمرتوه 90% دمرتوه ده انا متاكد فوقه ونقدر نعلن للعالم 90% انا بوكو هرم دمرتوها معي ده دمرتوها مراد ده المهم 90% ده فضل 10% ده دول جاريين فضل 10% 10% صغير فضل ده وما يجيش في مكان واحد جايين وعايزين ده عندنا حرام وعايزين قطعوا النيجر وعايزين قطعوا نيجيريا لكن في تشاد بترنا بيه
بالتأكيد بالتأكيد كان صار دري فانا بوامر كنا ما نعرف دري فانا بوامر يوري كل جاي
المهام ده ما دي بنا المهام ما دي بنا من تشاد ما دي بنا بوكو هرم والف شكر مرال
They'll never return to Chad again. I got that.
Yes.
That's a promise.
You see, before now, Boko Haram was not targeting the Chadian military bases. If they wanted to steal weapons, they would attack Nigerian troops or attack Nigerian troops or go to Cameroon. But they made a mistake when they went to the Bohoma Peninsula and attacked Chadian troops and killed 92 of them. The president admitted that he lost 92 and that was the first time that they would lose that number of troops on home soil. So, and he promised that he would teach them an exemplary lesson. That is what he has done. The number of weapons recovered will frighten you, and that will tell you why we had so much problem with Boko Haram, because they had weapons in tremendous
I hear most of the weapons will come from returning ISIS
from
fighters.
Libya. Yeah, from Libya.
Yeah, those who were dislodged and so on.
The black market in Libya thrives.
For arms.
For arms, thrives in Libya. So they will bring in the weapons through Niger. You know, Chad is where the borders of all those countries, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, Nigeria. Yes, so they will now bring it in from Libya. You know, all of these countries, and then they can also get weapons through Niger Republic, because Niger shares a border with Mali, and there's an ongoing war there in Mali. So from contract fighters and other people, they can get weapons. So that area was strategic to them. That's why every time Nigeria tried to put troops in some of the towns in that area, they resisted with high volume of violence. They resisted. So, but they've been dealt with in that area now. So, and the good thing to hear is that the president said we will stay there until Nigerian troops come to hold the ground.
Yeah.
Because if you
And the
leave the
president,
area.
Debbie was speaking on Nigerian soil.
Yes. He said this, you stayed here for at least 1 month until Nigerian troops come to take over. Because it's not permitted by MNJTF guidelines to move more than 25 kilometers into Nigeria.
Okay, all right.
You know? So, but this is an extraordinary situation. An enemy comes to their own soil to kill them, then they have to come into Nigeria to finish them off.
Yeah, no choice. So, Solomon, let's look at, sorry, without bias of what you were going to, MNJTF was established for a simple reason, you know, to forestall these brigands I think in 1994. So it has gotten to a stage where you expect Niger, Benin, if I might add Benin, Chad and Cameroon to...
The reason why this latest onslaught on Boko Haram has yielded some fruit is because Chad unilaterally took this action. And this has been a problem with the JTF, really, let's face it.
I'm sorry. Mohammed is reaching us from Borno, and it will be instructive to get him to share his perspectives with us too. Mohammed, I greet you.
Yeah, Citizen Hussein, good evening, sir.
I greet you, sir. Say that in Ibibio. Go on.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, I see Borno State make a good movement to meet Mr. President and tell him about this Boko Haram. We're coming into southern Borno. I'm in Damboa local government.
Okay.
And we see how these people are moving. Babajide will know all these places from Azur.
Bita.
Then go down to Sabongari. Sabongari, there's one village they call
No, go on.
You will remember it later.
Okay,
Yeah.
that place. So they will link it. They will go to one village they call Farfar. That's where I'm reside. That village, Farfar. They are the one who push us to Damboa. Now, if you go that side now, is their movement area. When they attack Gorkida, then if you go there, you will see them everywhere. This area is vast land for them.
Wow. Okay.
Nobody is coming to attack them. So now is the right time because they are fine now. Because now they are scared of everywhere.
Okay.
They are scared of Nigerian army. They are scared of Chadian army also. So all these things now is the right time to push them in that area where they call Talala down to Yobe State. So from Yobe State to this area where I mentioned to you, all these places, if you surround them with your troops there, we will finish the job.
Okay.
God bless Borno State Governor. Babajide,
thank you. Nimaka.
Yes, Solo.
That's a huge swath of land.
What does it mean?
Me too, I'm greeting.
Okay.
That's a huge swath of land. It's massive. But as I was saying, because the Joint Task Force has not mapped out a real collaborative strategy, it seems that all the strategies are just on paper.
It could not have been a mistake to have cited the headquarters of the task force there
in Baga.
No, it's in Baga.
In Baga.
Yeah, okay.
It's in Baga. Unfortunately, the insurgents took out that camp in Baga sometime in 2016. They attacked it and captured it. 2016 January.
They took over Baga 2018 January. They took over. They captured the base, chased away the soldiers, and remained there. There was an attack on the town that time in 2015, but they didn't take the state. They didn't take the town. They just came, chased soldiers and looted weapons. But this time around, they captured the headquarters of the multinational joint task force and chased away the Navy.
You're taking it home now.
So that is the point. All the boats that the Navy had, because the headquarters of the Navy in Borno State in Baga, they looted the headquarters, you know. and remain in that place because they wanted to control the fishing business. Because that is the headquarters of the fishing business. So, and we even have the Institute of Fisheries is there. So they wanted to control the fishing business so that they can make more money. So they went there, chased our troops away, and captured Baga in early 2018.
So a lot of intel.
So the way it seems right now, it seems, okay, the Chadians have taken the step without first of all consulting the Nigerian military. And so they are in Nigerian territory, and they are holding fort, waiting for the Nigerian military to do what?
For Big Brother Nigeria.
To come up and say, okay, take the place. I was also thinking that despite the fact that we have an abnormal situation where you are not allowed certain kilometers into a country's territory, that maybe the Chadians could say, okay, would you give us permission to finish up the job? It's only Nigeria that can grant that anyway.
My suspicion is that the governor went to the president. You know, because the governor has been talking to the Chadians for some time. You know, he knows the value of working with them. My suspicion is that he must have discussed that with the president, that this is the time to use these people a lot more. They have been used to asymmetric warfare for 40 years. You know, we are just still learning. We are good at conventional warfare, but these ones have been doing it for years. So they are. That's why they handle Boko Haram better.
We must go. We must go. So it's you are not 1/10 as miffed as I am, because most of these things are avoidable. Jide, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Solomon Ajozego, many thanks too. Quickly, football season, resting too.
They are planning to return. They are already planning to return.
May them come back.
Hopefully by June.
June. This is April.
And they will start training by next week.
Okay, that will just about do it on the program today.
There's no precision.
And the week. But if you missed this episode, you may also watch the show on other platforms. We'll show you on the screen now, and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. The feedback channel remains the same. I'm Citizen Jones.